When the cat's away, the mice will play. That's right. We sent Hogue off on a vacation. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. In the big chair today, our friend from 670 The Score, replacing Adam Hogue for the first 20 minutes of the show. Welcome into Danny Parkins. Good to see you, Braz. Good to see you, Nick.
This is a nice chair.
It's a good chair, right?
Yeah,
good chair,
this
good
chair
mic.
look good on me. Yeah. You guys were making a big deal about replacing Hogue. 20 minutes. It's just an empty chair.
No.
Hogue, I can't replace Hogue.
No. We're definitely.
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
We're I mean, out of sight, out of mind. And look, I mean, the love already coming in for Parko.
Oh, Mitch Osborne. Oh God, turning this off later, losers. Is that because of me, Mitch?
Come on,
Is that
Mitch.
because of me?
Already happening.
Yeah. So
What
I
did
think
I do?
So everybody, I think.
What did you do?
Yeah. Well, so I called up Gregory last night, and what do you have on your mind for tomorrow? And he's like, will you please text Parkins? And Parkins he's riled up everybody. I'm like,
Braggs, you don't have my number?
I do have your number, but
All right,
I know you
step
guys are
up.
close. All right, next time I will. I will. Because I explain yourself, Parkins. You know damn well what you're doing. Bears fans are ready to rip each other apart over this, and you're just throwing gasoline on the fire.
I don't understand.
You do understand.
Well, okay, when you
Don't
say
be coy.
There's nothing coy about it. So are you upset that I bought a Caleb Williams jersey 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, let's just reset here. Danny on the show yesterday to start the second hour of the program. You showed
First day of the true offseason. Super Bowl's over.
Right.
We do a segment called Polls Position. If the Bears have the number one pick, we're at 3 o'clock every day. We get inside the mind of Ryan Poles to think about what he's going to do. Free agency, drafts, trading the picks, prioritize. And everyone's like, it's a big debate. It's a big debate. And I was like, the debate is over. And I'm so sure that the debate is over that I ordered a custom Caleb Williams Bears number 13 jersey.
3 weeks ago.
Ordered it 3 weeks ago, and I've been sitting on it. And I've been waiting to unveil it for Polls Position, and so I did. What's the problem?
Well, I mean,
they're going to draft him.
I have a few issues with it.
All right, go ahead. Let me hear the issues.
Well, I mean, number one, first and foremost, is yes, I think everybody here on this show has said we think the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams. But at the end of the day,
are you upset about replacing this bobblehead?
He is not on the Bears yet. Justin Fields is still a Bear. So there's that element of it,
right,
where you're already pushing a guy off that's still on the roster.
Right, no, I know. Who are your teams? You're a Bears fan, but who else? Who do you like?
You're in trouble right now.
I'm a Cubs fan. I'm a Bulls fan.
Cubs fan. Are you happy about Counsell?
Yeah, I'm happy about Counsell.
Oh man, that's so disrespectful to David Ross.
Yeah, but
you a Bulls fan? You said
right. But
oh my God, you want Zach Levine trade?
That's
so
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Jersey before David Ross was gone.
So
it's.
But I mean, so would you have fired Matt Eberflus for Jim Harbaugh?
I would have.
Yes. Oh my God, he's still here. That's so disrespectful to Matt Eberflus.
But to me, buying the jersey is crossing the threshold. It's crossing the threshold.
You cross the threshold.
So you'll say it into this microphone for your job that supports your family, but you won't buy a $170 jersey?
Beyond the job, yes, I do think the Bears should draft Caleb Williams.
And you'll tweet about it and talk about it.
Correct.
But you won't buy a piece of cloth?
The jersey is crossing the threshold. Not only that, my bigger issue.
Go ahead.
Because if you want to play the bit, fine. We understand you're having fun with Bears fans who are literally ready to kill each other over this.
Oh, no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Where?
Trust me.
On the internet?
Yes, on the internet.
The internet's not real. Go on.
Yeah, it can be real. Now,
it's not
the
real.
second half of it.
You haven't been in Spaces with Braggs.
Yeah, the second half of it is you are falling right into the line of jinxing this. You're doing everything you possibly can to jinx this. Whether it's between him not being a Bear, you are going to jinx this by leaning too hard into it. Whether he ends up not being a Bear, I'm going to blame you now. And then if he does become a Bear, you talking about all these numbers he's going to break, all these records he's going to shatter.
Right.
We've been down this road before, trying to cash, write checks that the players have to cash. That's my other aspect of this that you have me concerned about. You're going too far into this. He's not even a Bear yet. You're going to jinx the entire operation.
But you said you're a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
And you still believe in jinxes?
Oh, I'm very superstitious.
Oh, okay, because but you know that they won in 2016, right?
That was a lot of fun.
Okay, so
I almost died
So
in Game 7.
jinxes aren't real.
Yeah.
They're not real. Nothing that
real.
we say, they're not. Nothing that we say, tweet, purchase, or do impacts what those guys do on the field. And I don't know, just listen, I know AM radio is as powerful as it's ever been, but I'm thinking that maybe being the number one pick, winning the Heisman Trophy, being the top recruit out of high school, going to Oklahoma, winning the Red River Shootout as a freshman, going to USC, playing for Lincoln Riley, having millions of followers on Instagram, having a foundation, having millions of dollars of NIL money, being the number one pick, being drafted into the third largest city in the country that has the worst quarterback history of any team in the country. I'm thinking that maybe that might be more pressure than an AM radio host buying a jersey. So I think he'll be fine.
Okay, all right.
And I think Justin Fields will be fine. Forget these are professional athletes.
Well, okay, hold on. There's a couple interesting things there. $5 super chat from Alex Ammerling. I want Caleb too, and I think we do take Caleb, but I'd love to see Danny's face if we trade down and take May. LOL. Nate Tice thinks that that's what they should do. $2 from Philip Pizzatola. Where is Danny's 13 CW jersey? Philip comes in and screams at me every day. You're here, Parko. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Pizzatola,
problem.
me and you, buddy. Isaac Siegel, $10. Danny, loved the jersey. CHGO 670 cooperation right here is platinum level broadcasting, podcasting. Thank you, Isaac.
Listen,
Appreciate
me
you.
and Carm go way back. I'll do anything for Carm.
And $9.99 for my guy Finley. Only in Shy can we get the number one overall and go at each other instead of celebrating getting a franchise-changing player. Where's the Bedard Fields? Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Great point.
All right.
Great point.
Go on. Let me rewind back here. I apologize to myself for allowing Braggs to go down Jinx Road or wherever you're going.
Get right into it.
You, Parko, you threw the QB1 party.
Yep.
You had balloons.
Yeah.
You were the biggest Justin Fields guy of all time.
Don't forget the boa.
Okay.
That's right.
All of you went as far. You basically became a member of Fields' family, as close as you could from a fan media broadcast, right?
I don't know Justin Fields personally. I've had him on the show one time. A member of his family.
Oh,
I've never met the man.
You used the word love. I heard you say, I love.
Justin Fields is the most exciting Bear with a football in his hand in my lifetime watching the Bears.
Right.
And I love watching him. And he is 10. He's an 11 out of 10 person. Absolutely.
Right. And exactly 11 out of 10.
Absolutely.
I love Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You and I would call you or text you or whatever from trading. I'm like, I don't know, Parko.
Right.
There's problems here, Parko.
Right.
But you held the line. You were still hopeful.
Right.
You stuck in there.
Yeah.
You were there, and there is a group of people, the Crystals out there, the Matt Gregory's who watch the show.
Right.
They're there. They're still believing. They want to keep them. There's Keyshawn Johnson who's screaming into a microphone, talking to all the smoke guys about the Bears haven't coached him right.
Right.
And now you, borderline mayor of the Justin Fields fan club, you've jumped ship.
Yeah.
I think you owe Fields fans an
No
apology.
shame.
For leave. You just
Here's something that's even crazier than that. I also was the guy who bet Mitch Trubisky at 200-1 to win MVP in 2019. And going into that draft, I watched every game that Deshaun Watson played in college and said that was the guy that they should have drafted. And the second they didn't draft Deshaun Watson, you know what I said? I was like, well, damn. I hope they're right about Mitch. And here's another thing. I thought for a minute, not long, but for a minute, that it might have been Rex Grossman. And if it fails with Caleb, you know what? I'll believe in the next guy. And if it's not the next guy, I'll believe in the next guy. And that guy's in 6th grade right now. You know why? Because I have eyes and I watch football. And I understand that the only way to win consistently for a decade in this league is to have a good quarterback. And by the way, who among here? Like, I'm married. I love my wife dearly. We're in a committed relationship. But she has said, I love you before to someone else, as have I. And it ages poorly. And you move on. And things change. And you develop. And I look back at some of the people that I've said I love you to and be like, man, I can't believe I'm in that time in my place that I said I love you to. Sometimes you move on. Sometimes you get new information. Justin Fields was... hold on a second, Braggs. He was done dirty. He was.
Yes.
He was done dirty by the Bears. Life ain't fair. If the Bears had the 9th pick and the 10th pick, we wouldn't be talking about this. But they have the number 1 pick, and they don't have the number 1 pick in a year where Luke Jokel and Lane Johnson and Eric Fisher are being debated for the number 1 pick. They have the number 1 pick in a draft where it happens to be a transcendent quarterback prospect. And I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl, but the guy who won the Super Bowl did it on a team that had a receiver core that led the league in drops. And I'm not saying that Caleb's going to be Pat Mahomes, but what I am saying is that the only chance you have in the NFL of winning consistently for a decade and having a shot at multiple Super Bowls, which is the goal, is to have a great quarterback. And Justin Fields has played 38 games. So when we were talking in training camp, Carm, I don't know, I'm worried about Justin Fields. I was like, I don't know, let me see him in year 2 of Luke Getsy. We hadn't seen it yet. I've now seen another season of data from Justin Fields. It ain't good enough. And oh yeah, by the way, they have the number 1 pick.
Yep. So
go ahead, Danny. What was the breaking point for you? Or not the breaking point, the turning
Getting
point.
the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So
it is opportunity. This is not difficult. They have the number 1 pick.
Right. So
And the number 1 pick is a quarterback. And that quarterback is a better player than the current Bears quarterback. I love skirt steak. But if you offered me A5 Wagyu, I would order it. Like if it was the same price. And here's the crazy thing. In this scenario, the A5 Wagyu is cheaper than the skirt steak.
All right, so you brought up the marriage analogy. I'm sure you're happily married. I'm sure you know.
Yeah,
perfect.
Oh, so you're going to do if the new sweet young thing comes along.
Yeah, if you had
that's what you're going to do.
If you
Go
found
ahead.
the new sweet young thing and you hadn't
It's
officially
not a good sign for you if I already know what you're going to say, but go
hadn't
ahead.
officially divorced your wife yet.
Yeah.
You guys still have the rings on. You haven't divorced yet.
Right.
The papers haven't been filed, but you're willing to put your ring on another woman's finger before the papers get signed and you've done.
So here's where I have to honestly ask if you have you been in a relationship with
I'm
anybody
married.
before? You're married. Okay.
20 years. Or I've been married for 10. Been with the same girl for 20.
Amazing. Okay. It was a football jersey on a radio show, bro.
You're the one that compared it to marriage.
I understand, but my point is that things change. Like and new information comes along. Like I'm not married to Caleb Williams. He's not a member of my Justin Fields not a member of my family. This is sports entertainment.
Of course, but there's still a level.
I just want to remind everyone it's sports entertainment.
I understand the whole thing's silly, but at the same time, fan is short for fanatic.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we have so many people tune into our show, so many people that tune into your show.
Absolutely.
So many people that are invested in this the way they are.
Absolutely.
We live and breathe this as fans. We wear it on our sleeves. So, yes, you can look at the next quarterback in line. You can want to replace Mike Glennon. But there is a threshold for fans that there is a respect level. Like
for you.
I think for most fans, yes.
But I mean, what did you think about Blackhawks fans wearing a Bedard jersey for the draft lottery?
Right.
They hadn't drafted him yet.
So they weren't. It's a little different in hockey because you're not replacing player to player.
Okay, but I understand. But again, my point is this is all subjective. We can all fan how we want to fan. Some fans can say we. Some fans don't say we.
Right.
Some fans have superstitions. Some fans don't have superstitions.
Right. Some fans gamble. Don't wear a jersey.
Some fans
when
don't.
You're over 22 years old.
Some fans gamble against their team. Some fans don't gamble. Everybody has their own rules of fandom, and I do not give any less of a flying you know what about what anybody thinks about how I fan or radio host because it doesn't impact anything.
Okay.
Right.
So let's talk about level of QB brilliance. So you're getting out in front with the drive the Caleb train here, which I think is an outstanding media / fan strategy.
I also go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I'm just also so I do gamble. There are markets for these things.
Yeah.
He is minus 1,200 to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
And
the Bears are minus 500 to select him. This isn't like me saying in 2007, hey guys, let me tell you about Bitcoin. This is like me saying today, this company that I think might do pretty well? Amazon. I'm not like some sort of trend, oh my God, Parkins how could he possibly see this coming? Guys, future headline, it's going to happen it's happening.
Right. But okay, fair.
I agree.
Well said.
So,
but I heard I have heard you use the words trendsetter
For the fashion. Listen, I'm not the most fashionable guy now.
But so you went. Okay, so you're using it just the fashion. So, okay.
I bought the jersey. It's going to be the number one selling jersey. There's a lot of Bears fans, and then people have to think of me as a fashion icon.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Fine. Trend-setting fashion, which is going to limit my point here, but I'm still going to make the point.
Go ahead.
Would you agree that your Caleb vision to everything you just named is way less brilliant than the vision that someone had on this show in training camp when they were able to see the Division II quarterback who was the fourth string guy to the third string guy was somehow
talking about Bagent?
Yes.
Every show,
Everybody,
every show he finds a way to slide Bagent into the conversation.
Okay, Bagent was better than what people thought and not as good as Justin Fields and certainly not Caleb Williams. And so what? You should have bought a jersey if you wanted people to listen to you.
He sung a song.
The point I sang great song.
That song was good, actually.
Thank you, bars.
That song, I tweeted about that song. That song had bars.
3 takes on that.
All I'm saying is that I think you should be like, Carm, the fact that you were able to sing songs and see Bagent and that he won 2 games this year is one of the great moments in Chicago media watching football in the last 365 days. That's what I'm looking for you right now. Like,
Carm,
go ahead.
Carm,
go ahead. Please, come on.
Not only are you smart, but smart is like not enough. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
You're handsome.
Thank you.
You're funny.
Thank you.
You're likable.
Thank you.
You're talented.
Thanks.
You're charismatic.
Thanks.
You're engaging. You're
Write that down.
generous. You're friendly. You're underpaid. You're underappreciated. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't trade being me, but I think most people should trade being them to be you.
Okay.
You're
Carmen,
the best.
I think now's a good time to read this super chat.
All right.
Came in earlier, but I think it now translates.
I got more than I wanted from that one. That was brilliant. All right. T-Fly Shy, $10. What do we got? Why don't he just leave the team? I mean, the guy talking. No.
I think they want me to leave.
No.
Again, Justin Fields. Here's the crazy thing about this. If anybody can find something that I've ever said negative about Justin Fields that isn't like a performance-based thing, then I'll give $500 to any charity of your choice. It doesn't exist. I will congratulate Justin Fields. I will celebrate Justin Fields. I will root for Justin Fields' success, and I will fully acknowledge that the Bears screwed Justin Fields over and did not give him a perfect situation. Life ain't fair, boys.
Yep.
Let me ask you.
I agree with this. I do agree that they're going to draft Caleb Williams. And the moment it became a realization they were going to have the number 1 pick, I think that should have been all Bears fans' signals, but there is a transition period and I don't blame Bears fans for being being loyal.
You're insensitive, is what he's
saying.
Still
being loyal to. I mean, it is
insensitive.
I have not seen a loyalty. I have not seen a loyalty to a player like this since Derrick Rose. Derrick certainly had the city's loyalty, being from the south side of Chicago, so it's a little different with Justin, but it feels the same. Social media wasn't where it was when Derrick was around. Had it been, I think it would have been ultra toxic, as far as the defense for him, and rightfully so in a lot of ways, because I thought the way they covered Derrick at the end of his career was pretty shady. But I will say this much, Danny, you were on the right side of history last year with me. I think me and you were one of the few people that were rooting for the Bears to tank in a time in the last month and a half of the season when you had guys like Hogue and Dan Wiederer and other people saying, hey, they got to learn to win.
Just Wiederer and Hogue out of nowhere.
Well, they were 2 of the people on the front lines.
We love you, Dan.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they were 2 of the people on the front lines of they need to learn how to win. I mean, Kevin was ready to throw me off the balcony when I said that the Bears should lose to the Packers at home, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now it's all led to this moment where they have this number 1 pick, and I do believe ultimately, giving you some shit here today, that you are on the right side of history. They are going to draft Caleb Williams, but at the end of the day, I do think you're poking the bear. I think you're throwing some gasoline on a fire that, just for me, from a fan's perspective, this is the most toxic time, and this is a toxic city when it comes to our sports teams and the way we fan towards our teams. You are throwing gasoline on the fire to one of the most toxic times in Chicago sports history.
Thank you.
Oh, no. I don't... I agreed with everything you said about Derrick Rose. I love what you do and your grind and the show and all of that. I'd stop reading the comments if I were you, man.
Yeah.
Like it's not real. It's not real.
Let me ask you this one last thing, and then
It's you know what I mean. It's just not that serious. Like you know what I mean. Like people being mad on the internet and talking about like my mom and my wife and my kids and like.
Well, I think the difference between me and you when it comes to that is a lot of the people that you see on Twitter, I know those people personally.
Well, you think I don't meet up with fans that I've met on the
I'm not
internet?
saying
I met my wife through the internet. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying
I met some of my best friends from Twitter.
The internet's not real if you met your wife on the internet.
Why?
Well, I'm just saying if you've met your wife, on the
She had
internet,
her first and last name, and we met.
right?
I'm saying so. Someone with an anonymous account.
Well, that's different.
That's what
not everybody has an anonymous.
But that's
account
what.
on
But that's what the
Twitter,
vast majority of the hate on the Civil War stuff that you're talking about on the internet is. It's made up accounts from people that would never say what they're saying on the internet to your face, and that's what the vast majority of it is. And so, like, by the way, again, this is sports. It's entertainment. And
I agree with that.
If I did something, people are like, you did that for attention.
yes,
Wow.
that's correct.
Call Bunk and McNulty and Scooby-Doo and let's solve this mystery. Good job. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, it's a splintered media space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I absolutely supported Mitch Trubisky and rooted for him and Fields and rooted for him. And by the way, people are like, oh, what are you going to do if they draft Drake May? I'll support him. And do you have a jersey in your closet that aged poorly? I have a Mike Fontenot jersey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't. Oh no, I wasted $170. Do you know what I lose betting on sports? It's okay. This is a tax write-off. I'll be fine. It's not that. It's not that serious, everybody. It's okay.
I agree with that, and I do wish Bears fans would be a little more easygoing and laugh at this a little more. But
It's
you know,
not serious.
that's
Parkins
not
has
how
a face for
fans
radio.
are.
I agree, Robert. That's why I'm on radio. But here's the thing: they pay me to be on TV too.
Hey, we're not going to do that, Robert. This is a family show. Okay, fine. That's go ahead and do you be you, Robert. Hey, let me just. I want to put a little because Danny's got to go. Let me just a little nice little bouquet perhaps for the diehard Fields guys out there. If you could pick it, if it was if it went, you can just touch the genie bottle or whatever the hell I'm trying to say. They can win a Super Bowl with Justin or they can win one with Caleb. You would obviously choose to pick it with Justin, right? Because you love Justin and what he's done here. You'd like the beautiful story would be the Bears winning with Fields.
Yeah, but yes, sure, but it's over. You know what I mean? Like, and by the way,
it's 93.8. It's 99.2% over.
Yeah,
okay.
right. Okay, yeah, sure. It's 99.2% over. They're rolling the credits. The screen is black, and people are leaving the theater. But it's technically not over because the line producer items haven't come up on the credits. But
and there's that post-credit scene that could happen.
That could happen. But the other thing is, honestly, they've got a better shot at a dynasty with Caleb than Justin.
Right, but.
So one Super Bowl, I'm actually not in this I say this all the time, and Bears fans think I'm insane. I'm not really in the business of one Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
I'm in the business of 3 and 5 years. Because you can't win. You can win one Super Bowl with a great running team and a great defense and an okay coach. You can't be a dynasty with that.
Sure, 3 and 5 is better than 1. But
the only way to have a shot at 3 and 5 is with a great quarterback. It's the only chance.
Well, right, but the point I'm making, dynasty or 1, either way, you'd rather, if you could pick it, you'd rather do it with Justin because he's that likable and
yeah. But we'll get to know Caleb and we'll get to like him too.
Hopefully that's exactly how that's going to go. All right, Parko, you're the man. I know you got to go do your
See
show.
You guys do a great job. And by the way, way better follow-up questions to me today than to Jackson Smith and Jigba. that was fantastic.
Hey.
You did great work. Nick, great job at the Senior Bowl, man. We ran a lot of your stuff.
Appreciate it.
You guys do a great job. Thrilled for you guys and all of your success. Sincerely, I consume it. And just be more like Carm.
Strong. Excellent job.
See you, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you.
There
for
goes
coming,
Park.
Danny.
All right, applause. There we go. Yeah. Well, do you feel better there?
Yeah, that was fun. Fun. Got to lean into it a little.
Yeah. I think you tried. I don't know if you really got anywhere, but you gave it a you know.
Yep.
Fan is short for fanatics. You love that one. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I didn't come up with it.
I like Danny. Honestly, I'm more leaning towards his takes on Caleb and how the Bears should approach the situation. If you just watch the Super Bowl.
No, but did he dominate Braggs? Did Braggs just get
see, I think there's a difference between, and this is something I've talked about when I watch games with you and Hogue during Bears games. Like, you guys have been in the media for so long, and I know we got to pay the bills around here.
We do.
But you guys have been in the media for so long. Yes, you are fans. You started out as fans just like all of us. But, like, for me, I still identify more as a fan than I do media. And I think Nick's closer to where he once was as a fan, and now he's media, but he's still closer to that period of time where he was a diehard fan that just went to the games, wore a jersey, and didn't have the media angle. You, Parkins, Hogue, the rest of you, media,
well, hold on.
Losers, all have been, you're so deep in the game now that you've forgotten, like, what it really means to be a fan. I do think because I had my buddy Shane Marsaw was suggesting to me, because we've talked about Caleb Williams for months now, even into the season, that they're going to draft Caleb Williams if they have the number 1 pick. And he said the day they secured the number 1 pick, he suggested to me, he was like, you should wear a Caleb Williams jersey on set. And my response to him was, I would never do that. Even though I do believe the Bears should draft Caleb Williams, and I've said that for months now, I would never cross that threshold of wearing the jersey on set because it goes against everything I am as a fan. Justin Fields is still on the Bears. Caleb Williams is not yet. Do I think he will be? Yes, but think and are two different things. And so for me, from a level of respect to the players that are still in the jersey and the whole superstition of jinxing things that I want to have happen, I would not do those things. Now, Parkins, he pushes all that stuff to the side. He's going to have fun with it, and I respect the grind. I expect a bit. But that, for me, I think is where a lot of fans took exception to it yesterday, is you're crossing a threshold of respect to Justin Fields, and then for me, the superstition aspect, which I don't think as many people go into, but I am a very superstitious fan for sure.
See, you're over there. I'm more into like you were Justin's guy, and you left him. You had a Fields divorce, but as he put it, more information became available, and sometimes you get divorced in life. 53%, 54%. We got Matt Ryan coming up here, but first, Nick,
we have DraftKings and your play of the week, you guys. I was crunching the numbers, looking through some things. I like to bet on the NBA. Big NBA better here.
Yeah.
And it's actually worked sometimes. I'm taking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
All right.
31.5 points at -125. Coming off a 38-point game against the Kings. So I'm really just banking on the OKC Thunder star to continue his offensive performance against the Magic. And, of course, you can download the DraftKings app and use the promo code CHGO. You get $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So that's your play of the week for today.
All right, let's go over to my friends at Empire Today. Lawrence Benedetto, huge fan too. With Empire Today, you love Empire Today.
Yeah.
You get shop.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. You get shop at own convenience, the right products for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today, the best place for new flooring. So of course, they have copycats out there trying to do what they do. But listen to me. Empire Today. You're not going to beat them on quality. You're not going to beat them on service. You're not going to beat them on speed. So they have to advertise they're going to advertise low quality products over there that Empire Today is not going to carry. You're getting the first class stuff at Empire Today. They're not going to promise you the lowest prices because anyone who does that is not putting quality flooring in your home. You want the quality, baby. You want the best. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners gets $350 off. You see it there on the screen on YouTube. $350 off discount when you use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions do apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. Get your flooring done. All right. Now, we sat down with a ton of people at Super Bowl media.
Stood up with some too.
And stood up with, and this was a standing up situation. This is the first time it's been on the show. We did it last week, so you get a little bit of Hogue today. We'll sprinkle in Hogue all week because we got a bunch of interviews we haven't played. This is about an 8-minute outstanding conversation, if I may say so myself.
It was great.
With our guy.
Hold on,
the guy
can you
that
pause for
has-
just a second here?
Yeah.
Braggs is in the chat.
I was going
But
at
he
a
was-
chat. I was going at a guy in the
He's
chat
using the
I was-
CHGO Sports
I didn't
account.
realize I wasn't in my own account. That one's my bad, Kevin.
Kevin's coming to fire you right
Wait,
now.
what happened? You weren't in your own account? You did it from
I was in the
CHGO?
CHGO account. Well, this guy was going at me. He's like, Braggs, you need to get a life outside of the Bears. I'm like, you're literally in a chat of a show where I'm on here talking about the Bears. You get a life.
Did it from the CHGO Sports account.
Actually, don't get a
Did
life.
you-
Actually, don't get a life. Become a diehard.
please, we
Before
do.
you get a life, become a diehard,
us.
and then keep supporting what we're doing here.
Do you-
But don't tell me to get a life. You get a life.
Do you understand?
That's what Parkins said. Don't read the chat. I'm gonna read the chat.
Not only are you going to read the chat, you're going to respond
Interact.
aggressively to the chat
Yeah.
while
Well, he started it. He started it.
he started it. I understand that in chronological years you're getting up there closer to 40.
Yeah.
But in
I'm 38.
actual mature years, where do you think
I
you
still
are?
feel like I'm 20.
20.
Yeah. I haven't
Laura-
felt like an adult my entire life. I've been a father for 5 years.
So-
And sometimes when I see people that are treated like an adult, Jim wouldn't understand. But I think there's some people that are treated like adults that are my age. I'm like, damn, how do you do that? Because no, I don't. I still feel like I'm 20 years old.
I mean, yeah, I know the feeling. I mean, look at me.
I feel young. I act old.
Not 40, Luke. I'm 38. Quit rounding up. Jesus Christ.
Don't respond to
Don't
the chat
look at the chat.
with the CHGO
I am going to look at the chat.
All right.
Matt Ryan?
You're not 20. It's closer to 6. 6. That's the point. Thank you for letting me get there eventually. All right, Matt Ryan at the Super Bowl with our friend Adam Hogue. Enjoy it.
All right, we're here with Matt Ryan, who's talking about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I remember doing this.
Yeah.
10 years ago. It's already been 10 years. I remember doing it.
It's crazy. I was shocked, when I first got asked to help out, that it's been 10 years. Because I remember it like it was yesterday. I was out on the field at Flowery Branch for the Falcons doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. Luckily for me, it was after the training camp practice, so it actually felt kind of good. It was kind of nice to get cooled off. But out here creating awareness for that. I know you guys are in Chicago, so a good mutual friend of ours, Ryan Poles, GM of the Bears, and myself, went to Boston College with Pete Frates, who suffered from ALS, and we were all buddies with him, and all saw the kind of effect that it had on him and his family, and so all of us, that were connected to that, are all tied to this initiative and trying to create and continue awareness for it, create momentum and continue momentum for ALS research, and hopefully we can do that today.
What's your favorite Ryan Poles story?
None for air, yeah, none for air. Yeah, no, Ryan, he's the man, and he was a roommate of mine for four out of the 5 years at BC, and just he's just as steady and as loyal of a friend as you could ask for. It's been incredible to see his journey to get to this point. He's a football guy through and through, though, and so I knew that 3 days into getting to know him that he was about football. His life was going to be in that space, and he's maximized it. He certainly has his hands full this offseason, probably more so than anybody else in the NFL, but he's certainly capable of handling all of that. And in my opinion, has done a really good job of creating a foundation, of building it the right way. It's going to take some time, but they played pretty good football down the stretch of that season, and to me it was impressive to see, because we had them early on, and to see the growth that they had as a team and the improvement that they had, I think they're trending in the right direction.
Knowing him as well as you do, he's got this incredibly tough decision, and Justin's this really likable guy, so they've got a great relationship.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll be able to just make the decision with a clear mind?
Yeah, it's hard, right? It's hard when you have these personal relationships that develop, and you said it, Justin's a great guy, and very likable. Teammates love him. Everybody, I was up there for practice and training camp, went up and watched him, and getting to talk to people in the building, just the way he is day in and day out. He's the kind of guy you want in the building. But part of the responsibility, whether it's playing quarterback, whether it's being the GM, whether it's being the head coach, decisions fall on him. And it's it's part of the responsibility that comes with that. And I don't think, Ryan shies away from that. And I think he understands how hard it is, how difficult it is, how there is a personal level to all of this. But at the end of the day, his job as general manager of the Chicago Bears is to push that organization in the direction it needs to go in terms of winning football games. And I think he'll determine whatever is best for them long term and make that decision and not hesitate.
He's got the nice side. He's got the hey, if I got to be cutthroat, I got to do it.
There's no question, right? And that's just part of it, right? He's a good person and a great guy, but he's not scared. And I think it comes across, right? He's quiet. Yeah. He's not out there. He's not going to be making a lot of noise. And so sometimes you see that quiet, you see it as like timid or whatever. That ain't him.
He had a good poker face.
Yeah, that ain't him. He's got a good poker face. You don't know where he stands. He's always the same, right? And not in a bad way, but just he plays things close to the vest, and I don't think is scared to make a decision. And the other thing is, I think he's really honest with players. And from the players' perspective, that's all you can really ask for, right? Is transparency and honesty. And I think he's done a good job with that.
Let's talk about the other side of it, the players' side of it. We just got done talking to DJ Moore, who's been very, very vocal. Like, Justin's my guy. I hope Justin comes back. That stuff probably happens in some capacity every year on every team. So I guess the question I have for you is, if that's not how it plays out, what's that dynamic like in the locker room when they all get back at Hallis Hall in April, and how quickly can that sort of be repaired by the time you get into the actual season?
I mean, that's the current state of the NFL, right? Is there's turnover on rosters. And so as a player, it's hard because, you put all of this work in day to day with the guy in the locker next to you, right? And there is that level of loyalty and commitment to each other. And I think that, it's hard. I mean, that's one of the difficult things as a player is to we got somebody here too, but it's one of the difficult things as a player is to be able to move on from that. Oh my God! This little native from up there as well, which is good. So it's good to see you.
Looking good, man. Look good. You love here. You still look like you can play.
I'm way too skinny. Way too skinny. But getting back to that relationship is there, right? And it's hard as a player. But you have no other choice, right? You don't get to pick who the players are around you. You got to go to work with whoever is put in that seat next to you. So DJ has some experience in that in a certain way. I mean, he's played with how many different guys at the quarterback position and continue to be productive. I think he'll be fine regardless of whatever decision is made.
Do you think Justin's a fit in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, could be, right? I think that when you look at the weapons that are in Atlanta and the guys that they have and the way that Justin played, and this is why the decision is difficult because he played well down the stretch and he did a lot of really good things for them. I think there's, in my opinion, you'd like to see a little bit more consistency first and second down in terms of accuracy, but playmaking skills, being able to run the football, being dynamic in that respect, I could see him as a fit in Atlanta.
Everybody kind of points to you as the starting point as the quarterback on a rookie contract. You were somebody that was able to come into the league right away and play well, and now teams try to follow that formula. Yeah. So when you talk about quarterbacks coming out now, like, do you think that's the right approach, or should it, developing, how important is that to sit and watch?
That's the $1 billion question, right? Or the $500 million question currently. I don't think there's one right way, because you look at what Patrick Mahomes did in Kansas City and kind of sitting and getting some time to understand what he needed to do. You look at Jordan Love. I mean, you guys know it in division, sitting for a handful of years behind Aaron Rodgers and learning how to do it, and then coming out and playing well this year, improving as the year went on. But then you also have guys like CJ Stroud, or even in my situation, coming in, being thrown into the fire right away. Personally, I love that. I didn't want to sit. I wanted to be out there, right? I wanted to be playing, and I think I learned, so much from the experience on the field. So I feel like everything is skewed to your own personal bias, but I like playing. I like getting out there and going and learning on the fly.
Matt, really appreciate your time and the insight, man.
You got it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
Matt Ryan at the Super Bowl with a moment of Donovan McNabb as well.
Grabbed me by the shoulders. I'm like, who is this guy? And then trying to catch him. And
I mean, come on, Donovan. Nick's filming. We're doing an interview. It's not all about you.
And then McNabb big timed us on Friday.
It's messed up.
That's messed up.
That's messed up.
But pride of Mount Carmel.
2 sports star, man.
I found the part of Ryan's past rooming with Ryan Poles. He underlined what a lot of people say about him as far as down the middle, hard to get a read on him, but he's not going to be afraid to do what Ryan Poles has to do. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and when he said decisions fall on him, and then that last part you just mentioned, Mark, that he's not afraid to make those decisions. Ultimately, he's going to do whatever is going to put the Bears in the best position moving forward. And I think that looking at what Justin Fields is or isn't at this point, and then seeing what Caleb Williams can be, that is a tough decision to make, but they're also saying that roster turnover, it happens every single year. So all these guys that support Justin Fields, all these people in the chat that still support Justin Fields, you're probably going to support Caleb Williams if he's throwing for 300 yards and winning football games. That's just the reality of the NFL.
We'll all get on board. Very tall, Matt Ryan.
He is very tall.
I thought I did a great job in that interview.
Orlovsky's taller.
Ooh,
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
they're pretty close.
They're
Look it up.
right on the line. That's a good battle. Hold on, I thought he did a great job boxing you out of the interview and trying to keep you up, and then you fought your way and you got in there.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where I was ready to ask a question and Carm just jumped ahead of me. Couldn't get my question.
Terrible teammate.
You got the $1 billion question at the end.
right.
Yeah, well, it wasn't $1 billion, but it was a few
Orlovsky,
dollars, I guess.
6'5", Ryan 6'4".
Told you. See, I'm smart. You're not. Yeah, I got boxed out of that interview. And literally, when I booked that interview for you, I literally ran because they said, all right, you get 5 minutes. It's got to be right now. I ran from one side of the room all the way to the I was the only person in Radio Row running. Ran for you.
With a bad knee.
With a bad meniscus. And then ran all the way back, got everybody set, and then you boxed me out of the interview. That's fine. Not mad. I'm only kind of mad. The only other thing that we didn't get a chance to ask him. Shut up, Mark.
I was trying to do a good interview.
The only other thing that I wanted to ask him, and I'm not really sure how qualified he would have been to answer, but we talk so much about the number 1 pick, but being that he was roommates with Ryan Poles was roommates with Matt Ryan in college, and Ryan Poles being an offensive lineman and having that history there. I think the number 9 pick, we don't talk about it enough, obviously, but it is going to be interesting to see if one of these left tackles falls to 9. We've all kind of said, they're going to take Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze or Brock Bowers because we always, especially someone like me, gets obsessed with the skill position players. But with Ryan Poles and his background as an offensive lineman, looking what he did last year with Darnell Wright, and seeing the dividends that paid from it, that is something I'll be interested to ask Ryan Poles when we get to the combine. How invested are they in Braxton Jones? If one of these left tackles fall, you could potentially have a rookie quarterback, a rookie left tackle, and a second-year right tackle as your nucleus for the next 4 or 5 years.
Think he'll tell you at the combine? Yeah, no, I think I actually am going to take a left tackle.
I'm going to ask him 2 questions.
Yeah.
Who are you taking at number 1?
Yeah.
Who are you taking at number 9?
We're going to get
and then we don't need to ask anything else.
Maybe he'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible. All right, there's some stuff that...
I'm going to frame it a little better than that, moron.
I can't wait to hear how you frame it. I'm sure it'll be exquisitely framed.
It'll be concise.
You know what's exquisite? We got some stuff from the Bears coming out that I want to talk about coming back here. But in this particular moment, I want to shout out our friends at CD1 Price Cleaners. The lowest prices. Customers save over 30% on their dry cleaning bill by switching to CD1 Price Cleaners. Other cleaners charge a different price for every garment type, plus they have upcharges. And you may pay a different price each time you visit. CD1, that's not how they do it. They charge one low price for any garment. That's right, sports jerseys, same low price. You want to get that Justin Fields thing cleaned up, or you want to go buy a Caleb thing and have it perfectly minted for draft night, April 25th, which, by the way, our draft party is going to be amazing. Do it at CD1 Price Cleaners. And plus, quick turnaround, right? They've got your order ready the same or the next day. Other cleaners could take 2 or 4 days. They'll always ask you, when do you want it by? You don't need to do that at CD1. You can have it today. You can have it tomorrow. CD1 Price Cleaners also sends you a text when your order is ready for pickup, so you know right away, hey, it's back. It's good. You don't have to worry about it. Bang. Done. dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, blankets and comforters, tailoring and alterations, leather cleaning, area rug cleaning.
Got it all.
I'll go with the washing thing for you. Wash and fold laundry. Clean. That'd be good. Visit chgo.cd1.com. And once you're there, you can pick from the in-store coupon or the online pickup and delivery coupon option. So, yes, you can go, if there's one by you, do that. I've seen all around town. Or, hey, they'll come and get the stuff from you.
That's always awesome. And, Greg, did you know
sir?
It's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles? That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being for all of us who share it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that around the block, Nick. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So, Greg, what should business owners do to get on all those benefits?
I'll tell you exactly what they should do, Mark, Nick. They should go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
I was kind of spaced out a little bit there, but did you say ComEd.com/clean?
Yes, I did. Go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
Okay, so shout out to the Bears. We didn't get a second to talk about this yesterday, but right after the Super Bowl ends, they put out the tweet, the Chicago Bears are on the clock.
You guys didn't talk about this yesterday?
No. Our interview with Field Yates is on there. At least if we did, I forgot about it. I want to talk about it again.
Yeah.
So be quiet.
We didn't.
Our interview with Field Yates is on there, which was super cool to see. And then our interview with Robbie Gold was on there.
Yeah.
So the Bears love this show. We'd like to say thank you to.
Why wasn't the shot of Braggs ripping his shirt off?
That was the thing I was most
disappointed.
disappointed. Like, one of the TVs could have been
Yeah.
the shirt. So Joey, our guy that does an amazing work with our graphics, did one where we all had our shirts off on the TV, which I thought was
trying to forget that moment on some level, but
and you're showing your nips. It's pretty funny.
yeah, we don't. None of that needed to happen, but
It did need
Stays
that.
in Vegas.
I mean, I can't
But no,
wait
that
till-
was pretty cool.
yeah.
you know?
So, but that was cool, and I want to know what you guys think the Bears are doing. Right when the season ends, their plan is to put out a video. We are on the clock. Are they trying to take the temperature of Bears fans as far as, we're on the clock. We got the number one pick. You're not on. It's like, it's not necessarily like on the clock to trade the pick to me. It does feel a little bit, and maybe I'm reaching, that they are trying to build some draft a quarterback excitement. Am I missing something here? Am I going too far?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of that, but it's maybe to get Bears fans prepared for what, will probably eventually happen come, mid-April, where the Bears are at number one and you're seeing the clock tick down and there's no trade happening. There's no graphic coming on the screen. It's like the Bears are probably going to make that pick and use the number one overall selection.
I don't think the social media team,
You think Kevin Warren is in charge here?
they're a separate entity.
He's sitting with Jared Payton. He's talking to us behind the scenes, even though I haven't been a part of those conversations and no one else has.
They put Fields on the promo graphic for London. Even a couple videos in Instagram with DJ Moore. They did a hype video a few weeks ago with Justin Fields. None of this, one way or the other, has anything to do with what Ryan Poles.
I think they're just pushing the needle. They're just.
I don't
being,
even.
being
I think this is just
They
their
have
schedule
the
content.
number one pick, regardless of what they're doing with it. They
Right.
are on the clock.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
And
full
watching
stop.
fans kind of read the tea leaves of every little thing like that is fool's errand. I think it's kind of funny, but when you're in the off season, you're pulling from any branch you
That's what it
possibly
all
can
is about,
to
yeah.
find your evidence to fulfill your bias towards what you think the Bears are going to do. So no, I don't read too much into it, other than the Bears have the number one pick.
like
I mean, Fields was one of the TVs that popped up. Fields was on that one of them.
Good point.
So
Good point. Excellent point. By the way, I just learned something from Greg Braggs, and I would like to acknowledge it. I did not know the phrase, the saying, whatever, fool's errand. I always thought fool's gold.
Oh.
But I didn't know fool's errand, and so I looked it up, and it is a real thing. So
I know words.
you taught me
My
something
mom
today.
was an
Phrases,
English major for, English major, teacher for 40 years.
Barb followed me on Instagram the other day.
Uh-oh. That's good.
Well,
That's good.
I don't know if Barb's following me or not.
She hates you.
Barb loves me. I love you, Barb. So okay, that's a good job. But I was amused. How's that? I was amused by that we were on there. I was amused that they were doing it. I'm sure it means nothing, but I found it to be slightly interesting. I also find it to be interesting that Justin Fields favored. If you're betting on where he's going to play football next year, the odds-on favorite is the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mike Tomlin.
I mean, I think the thing, like, when you want to talk about things that
Bears are second, by the way.
I think when you want to talk, if you want to try to read through things on social media that don't amount to much, what Caleb Williams is liking, since the season ended, to me is more intriguing, because if you go through his likes, he likes a lot of different things, but he's liked a lot of Chicago Bears content, whether it's Devin Hester being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He even liked the video of Merrill Hodge ripping him, saying that.
Oh, he liked that one too.
Yeah, he liked that. So he's a receipt
receipts.
carrier. He liked a tweet where Virginia McCaskey, the Chicago Bears main account, was wishing Virginia McCaskey a happy birthday. But if you scroll through his likes, I'm not seeing any likes for Washington or New England or any other team. Again, silly stuff to try to pick through the weeds on. But at the same time, if like for all the people that say, oh, Caleb doesn't want to be here, why would he be liking all this content coming from the Chicago Bears if he didn't want to, if he had no desire to play for the Bears? I think he would avoid the team and their content at all costs, right?
Maybe that's what he wants you to think, Greg.
Right.
He's maybe a step ahead of the game, right?
Chess.
come on, Nick.
4D
He's a
chess.
business
Man.
man.
Yeah.
Comma. Big comma in there.
No.
I mean, to me, that stuff, that's coming from the horse's mouth there. I mean, the social media team for the Bears, I don't think they're having a content strategy plan with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren. I mean, the Bears once infamously did a tweet when they signed Andy Dalton and put QB1, and the Bears got ripped to shreds for that because the social media team didn't know who the QB1 was going to be for that year.
If they offered you more money, would you leave CHGO to run the Chicago Bears social media?
No.
No?
I'm going to work right next to you guys. There's nothing I would rather do in this world than work
Double
with you
your
guys.
pay.
I would stay here.
Wow.
Triple your pay.
I would stay here.
That seems like a
That
mistake.
smile.
Real quickly, though, going back to the Mike Tomlin
I think
thing.
you should run the Bears social media. I don't want to lose you. We can't have this.
I
happen.
once
I'm glad that
asked the Bears social media team to, once upon a time in a 2018 training camp to give me a job. I even told them I'd work for free, and they laughed at me.
I don't
Who's
want to.
laughing
That's
now?
messed up.
I don't want
Who's
to.
laughing now?
That's messed up.
I mean, I don't want to replace Staley. The guy's been doing it for 20 years. But you, as Staley and the Bears social media team, I think that's a good gig for
That
you.
does sound like a good game.
Right? So, go ahead, Nick.
Going back to Mike Tomlin, and Schefter said that Mike Tomlin is a big fan of Justin Fields, and we'll keep that in mind during the offseason. If Mike Tomlin, let's say he's vouching to get a guy like Justin Fields, does that change your perception of how we
question.
should view Justin Fields? Because he's also the guy that, like, here, take Chase Claypool. We don't want him here in Pittsburgh, and you see what kind of disaster that's been. But if Mike Tomlin's saying, hey, I can win with Justin, how does that change, if any, our perception of how Justin Fields should be viewed if someone as credible, winnable as Mike Tomlin has been throughout his coaching career is vouching for a guy like that?
Well, I mean, I think, like
If
Parkins
that's the
was
case.
saying earlier, it's just about the situation. If the Steelers had the number one pick, would they be saying,
True.
we're going to trade for Justin Fields, or we want to draft Caleb Williams? So it's about the options that they have. And I don't, again, what Parkins said earlier, and I agree with this, I don't think anybody here on this set and the majority of the people that want to move on to Caleb Williams don't think Justin Fields has talent. I think the majority of them do think he has talent. So if Mike Tomlin sees that he has talent, most Bears fans, not all, because there's some that don't think Justin is good, but most Bears fans would agree. And he's obviously better than Kenny Pickett and the recently released Mitch Trubisky. But the fact of the matter is the Bears have the number 1 pick. So it has never been a slight on Justin or something personal against Justin. It's just the fact of this unique situation and opportunity the Bears have in front of them. So the other part of it, though, when you talk about Mike Tomlin liking him, well, Arthur Smith is their OC, and he was with the Falcons when they once passed on Justin Fields and drafted a tight end. So as much as I hope the Steelers give up a first-round pick for Justin Fields, I don't know if the fit is there with Arthur Smith, who passed on him, a hometown kid, and drafted a tight end over Justin Fields when they had the opportunity.
Pro Football Focus's speculation on what the Steelers would give up for Justin was a second-round pick this year, which is 52 overall, and a fifth-round pick next year. No first-round pick in their speculation, for whatever that's worth. Yes, that's correct. Don't bank on getting the Steelers' first-round draft pick. I don't think that's happening. And I see people in the chat pointing out, like, look, the Steelers have been wrong on a ton of quarterbacks. So
that's true, yeah.
But I also think, and everyone's saying that they'll be rooting for Justin wherever he goes, but let's be real here. If he goes to Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin and they start winning a ton of football games and whatever we do here goes sideways, Caleb included, Drake May, whatever, I mean, I obviously think it's going to be
Then we're
Caleb.
blaming Danny Parkins for jinxing
it. It ain't going to feel good.
That's going to be bad. That would be bad.
It would suck. Hopefully that won't happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But at the same time, it's like everyone's like, I wish Justin well. Well, you do, and so do I. But if he does go elsewhere,
honestly, this is the superstition thing. Like the way I and a lot of we as Bears fans hyped up the Bears going into this season, certain that we were going to kick Green Bay's ass, certain that we were going to be the breakout team of the year.
So certain.
And Carman was the only one that was like, hey, guys, slow down. And we were like, shut up, moron. We're having fun over here. Well, he was on the right side of it, as much as I hate to give him any credit for anything. And
Me too.
So, yeah. So, honestly, going into this year, I don't care who they choose at quarterback. If they do ultimately draft Caleb Williams, I am going to suppress every positive thought I have
February
until
13th.
they get to games being played.
You're gonna
because I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to be excited. I think they can be a good team next year. I think they can be an exciting team. Whoever the quarterback, they should be, because they're going to add to this defense. But honestly, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm not going to write checks that the players have to
3 minutes
cash
and
this
30
year.
seconds.
Like, I think for us as Bears fans, we should all just suppress the hype as much as we can. It's just that, I think, is such a big part of it, because Chicago sports teams across the board never live up to the hype. It's when they're doubted is when it feels like the teams do better. Anytime outside of Michael Jordan and the Dynasty Blackhawks, the only time our teams are ever good is when they come out of nowhere. Anytime we overhype a team, the 2019 Bears, the list goes on and on. The year after the Bears went to the Super Bowl, it never works out. So I think we should, as fans, try to help, and throw some love to the sports gods and not overhype this going into next year. That's what I'm going to do.
All right, we're going to work on reality with you after the show. But, none of that, what you just said, matters. Okay, diehards, new ones coming in. I got excited with Parko being here that I didn't say it at the start of the show. I didn't mean to. I apologize. John, the world champion, one of our newest diehards, guy that, not only is he the first guy in the office, but he's the last one to leave. John, a new diehard. Thank you, John. Nathan, overrated hot dog, but not an overrated Nathan. We don't do New York here. We go Chicago. But Nathan's, that's why he's gone diehard, because he is through and through. This is the real Nathan, not the fake Nathan. We appreciate you, Nathan. Andrew. What can you say about Andrew?
Nothing.
Moving on.
We appreciate you for being a diehard, Andrew.
Andrew.
I really got to learn how to hype up our guys.
Don't listen to this idiot. You're the number one overall pick. You're to the top of the food chain. You're being compared to some of the all-time greats. Andrew, thank you so much. My guy Raymond, long for Ray. You know what I'm talking about with
Everybody
Raymond.
loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yep.
I mean, this guy walks down the street and literally, even if it's raining, the sun's coming out when Raymond's around.
Preparation H Raymond.
I don't think that's what Raymond wants
Do
to
you
go.
remember that? Do you remember
I don't.
from Conan O'Brien, the Conan O'Brien show, Preparation H Raymond?
Not really, no.
I'll sing the song.
Your
off the
Spaces
air.
show starts at 2. What about Joe?
It's a good pull. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
What about Joe?
Joe Cool?
No, Joe extraordinary, not Joe
Mama.
Joe Mama. Joe respects his mama.
Mama.
Joe.
We appreciate you, Joe.
We love you, Joe.
Ravi remembers Preparation H Raymond. Thank you, Ravi.
And our guy Matt. Not you, Nagy. Not
Damon?
Not you, Damon. Better looking than Damon this
Better
man.
look- okay.
More pizzazz than Damon. This is the new level, Matt.
It's a
latest
diehard Matt.
Thank you. Everybody's doing become a diehard. We appreciate the support. And what do you get when you become a diehard at allchgo.com, Braggs?
What do you get when you become
Why
a
would
diehard?
you do such a thing?
Well, you get a free shirt right out the gate. You get discount on all future purchases of the shirts. Every year you roll over, when you've signed up and you renew your contract.
Shirts keep
here,
adding up, man.
You get another free shirt. Will you quit yawning?
I'm not yawning.
Jesus, get some sleep. The other thing you get is exclusive access to content.
Get to the good stuff.
Yeah. Our Bears 100 draft guide,
Thank you.
which is going to be coming out here this offseason. Adam Hogue, all of us here, is going to help dig into the database to get you ready for the draft. It's specific to the Bears' needs.
What about our takeovers?
We get the takeovers, the draft party, the tailgates, the events. You get discounts on all of those events. You get Adam Hogue's weekly newsletter, exclusive to diehards only. And then, of course, our Discord, when you can go and talk to Bears fans to have a nuanced conversation outside of the mean streets of Twitter, where the conversation can go off the rails, somewhat like this show does at times. And you get to talk to guys like Gary Ross and Matthew Gregory. And sometimes we do diehard overtimes immediately following the show where you can ask us questions as soon as the show is over. So there's a lot of different, aspects to becoming a diehard that improves your fanhood.
What about Dr. Bunny? Shout
You
out
get
Dr.
to talk
Bunny.
to Dr. Bunny.
Now that it's the off season, I feel like the overtimes could be you two playing table tennis.
We
Just
might
like
have to have a battle today.
Braggs
Good
sets the camera up, or someone sets the
like
camera
that.
up.
We'll answer questions.
Significant battle today. On the way out here, let's get some super chats in here. Thank you, Lawrence. Who do we got here? We got Zachary Hilborn. What's up, Zachary? $10. All the Fields riders need to get their heads out of their ass. Thank you. I'll read your stuff and realize it's over. Justin won't be anything good anywhere else. He sucks. Caleb, our escape, and is a great escape option. Zachary,
I don't agree with that
You-
first part, but
you're a little hostile and you are a little overconfident. I'm not saying that he's going to the Hall of Fame elsewhere, but in the right situation, Justin Fields can absolutely be successful. That's my opinion. And we also thank you for the super chat. Fernando Rodriguez, $4.99. Draft high. Don't resign them after rookie contract. Rinse and repeat. The Bears way. Bears trade Caleb in a few years and draft again. Fernando. Unfortunately, to this
doesn't
point, there is validity in what you're saying. Hopefully, this will be different.
Well, Carm looked at me one day when we were arguing about this, and he goes, just know this, Greg. Whatever they do, they'll fuck it up because the Bears never get it right. And there is some truth to that, and that's the biggest fear.
I did not say that.
You did say that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
That was somebody else.
Well,
That-
sometimes you black out and start talking, and that's what you said that time when it came out of your mouth hole.
I mean, if I did say that, it was in response to something that you were doing, as you were overthinking it, and I wanted to bring you some level of something that was helpful, but apparently it wasn't, and now it's being thrown in my face, and we can
It's
move
not
on.
thrown in your face. It's true. The Bears always fuck it up.
That's not true.
It would be so Bears for the Bears to draft Caleb Williams and Drake May, the kid from UNC, end up being the better of the two, where it was the opposite last time, where we drafted from UNC and Patrick Mahomes was the better of the two. It would be so Bears to draft one of these two rookie quarterbacks and Justin Fields ends up being a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
It would be so Bears to draft keep Justin Fields, get the haul, and then both quarterbacks be good elsewhere and kick our ass. Caleb Williams for Washington kicking our ass every year of the NFC. It is this fear that Bears fans have. I don't care what you prefer of how this is going to blow up in our faces.
Right, but
we've gone through this with a lot of teams in this city.
Just know that most fan bases feel the same exact way that you're talking about until they get it right, like they did in Kansas City. Brandon, there's always that the Chiefs would get it wrong. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I worked in Kansas City. Brendan Harrison, $5.
Henderson.
Zachary paid $10 just to say that. Well, now you paid $5 to come back at him, Brendan. You won.
You can
$5
keep going back
less.
at each other.
I like it. You guys should keep battling it out right here. Next. What do you got here, Nick?
Edward _first. I'm over the JF1 Caleb debate. No matter whom they choose, the player Bears need to do everything on their power to get their hands on is Marvin Harrison Jr., period. You add a talent like that, it doesn't matter if it's Justin, Caleb, they're going to be a lot better at the quarterback position with a wide receiver like that. I don't know if Marvin Harrison, I don't know if you get Caleb and Marvin, but need to add another weapon.
Herb Howard entering the chat under Edward. Thank you, Herb. Appreciate it. Hands down is here, my guy. $1.99. We all wear the one jersey, the Bears jersey.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly right.
Yep.
That's right.
Bring some passion. Hands down forever. Professor Fumbledore, my guy, $5. Love Fields, but might love a new QB too. What trade value at number one and/or Fields trade influences the decision to keep or move on from Fields? I personally don't think that's how this is going to be done. If you love Caleb, you're drafting him, regardless of value.
Well, what? It would take a haul, right? From Rappaport would take a haul for them to trade that. Historic haul.
Yep.
So what that looks like, I have no idea, but I don't know if anyone's going to actually offer that to get Caleb. Zachary Hilborn again. I did pay $10 just to say that. I am extremely confident in the idea that Justin is a bust. Caleb Williams may not be great for the Bears, but he'll definitely be better than Bustin Fields.
Way to go, Zachary.
$20. Thank you.
Way to double down, Zachary.
We need a rebuttal, though.
Is there one more rebuttal? Next, T-Fly Shy to Long Beach. $10.
So hypothetically speaking, of course, if Fields is traded and becomes a MVP quarterback, these words are too small for you to read, and Williams busts, how would you guys respond? How would you say, damn, we were wrong, or damn, we are football stupid and quit?
No one's quitting T-Fly Shy, but we would definitely say, damn, we're wrong and damn, we're idiots.
Well, I can tell you right now that I'm an idiot. I don't need the outcome of this decision to tell you that. I'm a complete moron, and so is Carm. The only smart person on this show here today is Nick.
We're all smart.
Okay.
No.
Listen, some of us don't have to call their wives when they get to the airport to figure out how to check in for their flight. $1.99 from Eli. Jenny, heavyweight meatball fight right now. This is greatness. I assume that's
that was from earlier. That was from Danny with
Parko. Thank you, Eli. Appreciate you, man. Stay safe.
Because I have someone meet me at the airport because they love me, and nobody loves you, is nothing to go after me about.
You called when we got to the Las Vegas airport to have Jenny standing by on the phone to help you get through
Well, because
security.
Nick was supposed to help me, and then he didn't help me at all.
TSA pre-check. I left you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we got Brendan with the rebuttal here.
For 25. This is amazing.
Go.
Zachary Hilborn with the bad takes. There is a world where Justin and Caleb are both good QBs.
There is a world.
Bang, Brendan.
Will Zachary respond in time?
We got like 3 minutes. Think about your response. JR ain't gone. Or JR ain't going, excuse me. $4.99. That's a big difference there. Come on, y'all. If we can get 3 first-round picks for Williams, but only a second for Field, I believe the football gods have spoken. Williams is it.
Yeah, I mean that's a part of it, the trade value. But I mean there are different situations. He's a rookie quarterback, rookie contract. Fields has still has a lot to prove in this league. But
it's not even the football gods though. It's the football evaluators. It's the football big decision makers. It's the men with the money. Oh.
No way!
Yeah, Zachary.
Oh,
Has this ever happened?
I'm rooting for Zach at this point now.
Zachary goes to 50. We got to get you guys drinks. There's always more. I'm up immaculately from the Super Bowl parlays. Congratulations. I can't wait for Busted Fields cultists to explode on Twitter April 25th, 2024. Wow. Zachary?
Might happen before that, Zachary, if there's a trade that's made before free agency, which is less than 4 weeks away. Combine less than 2 weeks away. You never know.
Make it happen.
Hogue is worried that it's going to happen while he's on vacation.
We'll be ready, though.
We're on
we'll be ready to
standby
go.
for anything, any news to drop. And if there is any breaking news, we will bring it to you as fast as humanly possible.
You think he's more nervous that we won't be able to handle it, or that it will happen he'll get to miss talking about it?
Both.
I think
Both.
it's the latter.
Or about the screen cap he was sent multiple times last night from the short we put out.
Yeah.
That
was pretty funny.
My wife caught me.
Yeah.
Hopefully not in Hawaii. $5 from the Bears.
GSH. Which,
There we go. Shout out, George.
Hallis.
That's very nice. The reason the debate continues is to keep Fields' trade value high. Teams are sure the Bears are moving on, then they can lowball offer for Fields. Well, the thing, though, the Bears, GSH, is that, we're having the debate. You know, what's going on behind the scenes. We're not moving the needle on the trade value.
No, and I think
us.
if whatever Ryan Poles decides, whether he wants to trade the pick or trade Justin, at some point he has to notify the teams that have inquired, okay, this is what is on the table for you. And so I don't think that changes. If he calls Tennessee, Atlanta, Seattle, Pittsburgh, and all these teams that may inquire about Justin and say, all right, Justin is available for a trade. I want to trade him before free agency. Make your best offer. They can't then go, oh, well, that means your value is lower because I know what you're doing. No, the trade value is up against who they're trying to fight for this player for. So it all comes down to how many players are trying to trade for Justin Fields, or how many teams are trying to trade for Justin Fields, and creating a market there.
And Field Yates gave a really good response that you can go check out our YouTube on that clip where he's talking about the trade value and why they're even interested in a guy like Justin Fields.
$4.99 from Crystal. What's up, Crystal? Hey, Braggs, calm down. I love Carm. # Team Carm.
You're biased.
But to comment on the jersey from she's not biased. She
She's
has
very
just an
biased.
opportunity to watch the show and figure out who's the brilliant person here, and she decided me. But to comment on the jersey from Parkins, I didn't like it either, Braggs.
Yeah, I got your back, Crystal.
So you should show Crystal some respect.
Yeah. I don't know why she likes you so much. When you big timed her, the one time she wanted to meet up for lunch, then you were nowhere to be found.
What are you talking about? Crystal and
She was trying to find you one day and you weren't there. I can't remember the exact situation, so I'm just gonna make up a story.
What?
$1.99 from Big Cram. I like turtles.
I like turtles.
That's my guy.
I like turtles.
Zachary back in the
What the?
Ricardo Hernandez $5 super chat. Him. Hashtag fleece
You
season.
never know, Ricardo. Even though we got to 99.2% likely.
like
Zachary
that
back for $5. Also love the show and love bickering with Braggs on Twitter. At the end of the day, it's always #bear down.
That's right. I
Appreciate
appreciate
everybody.
you. You're a real person on Twitter, Zachary Hilborn, even if Danny Parkins doesn't think you're a real person.
The internet isn't real, Greg. You learned that today.
Yeah.
All right. What is real is that we've got huge shows coming the rest of the week for you. What's wrong? Oh, $2 from Optima Princeps. Did I say that right?
He's got some
that a
not
plum
nice
emoji?
things in the emoji part.
I've
but he
never
said,
liked
Justin
the whole,
Fields have fun in Atlanta.
I've never liked the whole the internet isn't real, because then you're just allowing behavior on Twitter that should not be allowed. Words have meaning. People are real that are behind those keyboards. And so to just dismiss whatever anybody can say, whatever they want to anybody on social media as, well, it's just social media, who cares? Maybe I hold myself to a higher ethical standard, but I've always been taught to treat people how you want to be treated.
How it should be.
And so I respectfully disagree with that. And we don't have to get serious here, but yeah, I did have some things that were said about me and my family in the last couple weeks, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't affect me in an emotional way. And I would never talk to people the way some people think it's okay to talk to me or any of us here on this show, and I'm not doing the woe is me routine. All I'm simply saying is there are real people in our chat. There are real people on Twitter, and I'm a real person too. And I think everyone, whether we disagree or not, should treat people with respect. And I don't buy it's just social media and it's not real. Say whatever you want to whoever you want, however you want. There's my soliloquy.
Well said.
Utopian world that you're leaning into. I think that's lovely. It's real, and they're spectacular. All right.
Luke goes, he is real and 40.
Hands down, $1.99 NFL Combine, 226.24. Let's effing go. We'll be there, baby. It's going to be amazing. We'll be pumping the content and hopefully, talking all the big shooters as well. That's the goal, at least. Joe Estrada. Jose, excuse me.
He didn't put a message here, but he's the one that on Twitter last night gave you guys a nice shout out.
Oh, he did. Yeah, appreciate that, Jose. Yeah, that was awesome. But shout out for you, man.
Appreciate you, Jose.
Look at Matt.
Nuku. Out of nowhere.
Nakua?
New diehard Matt here. You're the man, Matt. I listen to you guys every day. So thanks for getting me through my work week. Team, whatever Poles wants to do. Matt,
boom.
That's the way to live.
We're with you, man. Thank you so much for supporting us, man. It means a ton. And $4.99. It wasn't lunch. He left a tailgate early. I still love Carman. Braggs, I love you too. We will all get lunch.
I love it. And Mark will pay for lunch.
I will happily pay
but
for
I'll
lunch.
have to tip because he's a terrible tipper.
I will happily pay for lunch. I'm not a terrible tipper. You just don't understand, Matt. Let me how much should I tip on this $24 bill?
I don't ask.
$6, Greg. That'd be 20%. I'm giving 10.
Actually, 20% would be like 5.
Right. I say 6. It's a nice tip. Bragg says I'm cheap, and then he gives $10 because he can't do math. Not
Jose jumped back in here with a comment.
Another $4.99 from Jose. Thanks, Jose. If the Bears win the close games this season, will the QB debate still exist? Can I get a nickname, Carm? Jose.
Probably not. Adding 3 wins to that, so you're out of the.
It would because they have the number 1 pick, Jose. It'd still be a debate, depending on if they. It absolutely would be.
The Chiefs once traded up for Patrick Mahomes after being in the AFC Championship game.
Jose.
The year before.
Jose Hero. You're a hero, Jose. Let's go with that because
Jose Hero.
You're lifting us up to godlike status here.
Yeah, thank you for the kind comments.
And we got one more from Isaac. This is a great end the show. Super chats.
Going on a heater here.
Carm looks so awkward during the Matt Ryan interview. We had to put this in here. Who's your guys' top wide receivers prospect other than Rome Malik and Marvin Harrison Jr.? I did look awkward in that interview, Isaac. You underlined it well. My hair looked weird, the whole thing.
Keon Coleman. Who are some of the ones?
Keon Coleman. Ricky from Florida.
Ricky Pearsall.
Why do I keep saying his name wrong?
Pearsall, right?
Roman Wilson got some love.
Wilson. The kid from Tulane, now blanking on his name. He was also at the Senior Bowl. So there's a lot of. Just go look at the guys that were playing in the Senior Bowl. A lot of guys that can help the Bears right now, and they'll be in the database. So it's another reason to be a diehard. You can learn about all these good wide receivers that are not these 3 that you name.
Bears
that can
100
help the Bears.
draft guide.
Yeah, well, we're gonna start working on it right now. Is there an overtime today?
Isn't it out already, or am I making that up?
It's out. Tony Franklin.
Is there an overtime?
Is he from Oregon, Tony?
Yeah,
I do say Oregon. Everybody makes fun of me for how I say Oregon.
Let me ask you a question. Is there an overtime?
We can do every time I say we're gonna do a diehard overtime. I'm the only one that's in it because you never show up.
We got one more.
I'll come today.
There we go.
Because our guy Brandon Henderson just put in 75 big bucks. We root for Justin. We root for Caleb. We just want a good team.
Yes.
Brendan.
Brendan.
What a way.
I mean, honestly, we better. Is our
just
guy
keep the
that's
streak
anti-Justin?
You never know what could happen, right?
Zachary, you better come in here because Team Justin.
Brendan came out of nowhere
with the dope.
Bubblicious Brendan victory.
I've always appreciated Brendan's his avatar there, which is, of course, young Bart Simpson as a baby in the Nirvana cover from Nevermind.
That's really good.
That's a good name there.
That
I
is
do
brilliant.
like that.
All right, thank you to Parko for coming in. Thank you to Matt Ryan for having fun with us at the Super Bowl. Thank you to Lawrence producing. Nick, has been a minute that you've sat in that seat, so good to see you too, buddy. We're rocking and rolling tomorrow. So are you, Gregory. And, yes, we're going to go do Die Hard Overtime right now. So get in there on the Discord and become a Die Hard. AllCHGO.com, because there's just more coming. What are you smiling at, Nick?
Die
Nick
Hard
wasn't even
Overtime.
born when was that supposed to say Nirvana? Nevermind came out? Never mind.
Yeah.
Die Hard Overtime coming up here in just a few minutes.
Ping pong.
On my way to the gym while I get flexed out.
That's great, Greg.
Are we waiting for Zach's response?
I think we're going to close it down.
Zachary.
We appreciate all the chat.
Zachary.
We'll see you tomorrow, Zachary.
Zachary.
Come in tomorrow for the win,
Zachary.
Zachary. Have a great rest of your day.
Bear down.
We all silly like the mayor.